Hello, everybody. How are we doing tonight? So, we are back with some more Fate Stay Night Heaven's Feel. We are going to be finishing up day 15 tonight. I hope y'all are ready for absolute peak fiction tonight. I think we're just gonna jump right back into it. So in case you missed last week, basically we have just rescued Ilya and we are now running through the forest around her castle. I run through the forest with Ilya in my arms. I can't turn back. It feels like a black wall would be behind me if I turn back, which would kill my spirit to escape alive. I don't have energy to waste on that. He'll catch up to us if my resolve wavers. He'll catch up and kill us both. It feels like my feet will tear off. Ilya may be light, but carrying someone still slows me down. Making matters worse, the forest isn't the best place to run in. Each step nearly causes me to trip. Faster, 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 faster. He'll catch up to us unless I run faster. The presence behind me is getting closer by the second. This is no time to be moving this slowly. I have to run faster, run fast like Kotomine, and run away with Ilya. My heart feels like it's about to explode. It's painful. I can't breathe. The muscles in my legs are about to tear apart, and my bones are screaming to break. It's painful. How long have I run for? I'm running frantically through the forest with Ilya in my arms. I've covered 5 kilometers already. Then again, I'm so short of breath that I can't think, so it might have been twice that. I ran full speed without slowing down. But it won't go away. I'm running full speed. My heart and muscles are about to stop, and yet the presence behind me is getting larger. Ilya is heavy. Oxygen is heavy. My legs are heavy. Death is heavy. I'll die if he catches up to me. I'm burdened with the fear of being killed in a single blow.
Shiro!
I mentally kick myself before I can falter. Run. Just don't think and keep running. So what if my legs are about to rip off? What's the point in worrying? Think about that when it actually happens. For now, I just need to get out of the forest as quickly as possible. Fill my chest with gasoline. Turn the key and ignite the engine that's stalling with fear. Keep the gear at the top. Remove the brakes. Run, run, run. Run to shake the uneasiness from my back. Run to ignore the fear behind me. Run so I won't think negative thoughts. Shut up. Don't yell in my ear. My eardrums are about to burst just because of my breathing. I can't spare the effort to listen to your loud voice. Ilya screams in my arms. My mind reacts to her frantic warning before my body does. I stop. My feet slide to a halt in the dirt, and I put Ilya down on the ground. I ready the sword I had on my waist and create a magic circuit at the speed of 200 miles per hour. Nothing comes to mind. Analysis of creation concept, analysis of basic structure, modification of creation concept, reinforcement of basic structure. In an instant, I manufacture everything without even thinking about it. I resist the impact with all my strength. The whirlwind comes from the side. The pursuer has attacked us from the side, smashing away all the trees in his way. I'm sent flying. All it took was one blow. The black key, which I strengthened to be as strong as diamond, is bent like melted candy. The impact goes through the sword into my body, permeating damage from the tip of my head to my toes. I'm flying. The attack I made with all my might was deflected like nothing. I'm no match against him. I'm no match against him. Emiyashiro isn't allowed to even stop that monster. My body's floating in the air. No, I'm flying. I'm like a thrown lance, hurled dozens of meters by the impact. I might fly back to the castle. That's how much stronger he is. Escape is impossible. Time has stopped. I'm still flying, and I should die when I fall to the ground. Having seen the difference in our power, I accept my fate, but...
嘘。やだ。嘘でしょ。まさか。
I see Ilya crying in disbelief, with the black monster in front of her. I frantically reach out. I stop my flying body by hitting myself against a tree. It feels like I've been hit in the back with a hammer. My heart, already pushed to the point of bursting, expands still further. It cries in pain as though there's a crack running through it. I can only draw a single breath. I need oxygen, but it feels like I'll explode if I take another. But my body moves. That single breath gives me the strength to run. I use all of my magic circuit to move my muscles and...
どうしたのバーサーカー。私だよ。わからないの。
Entranced, Ilya doesn't move. She just calls out in a weak voice, trying to deny the unrecognizable figure before her. That's the black enemy's true identity. Kotomine said his eyes can't see. He's right, but he's not accurate. That servant has no eyes, nose, or mouth. His glowing red eyes are there to emit hostility. His body is covered by the black mud, and the wound he received from Saber is left alone. That's something completely different. Engulfed in the mud, he is a monster who can only destroy. He doesn't even see who he's attacking. The mad warrior can't recognize Ilya's figure, let alone mine. He raises his axe sword against the living thing in front of him. The priest is about to end his life. Kotomine Kirei leans against a wall, staring at the white skull. His outfit is slashed up. He's breathing hard, with 3 black keys as his only remaining weapon.
これで爪かの。サーバントを向こうによく持ったと褒めるべきか。
Hang on, is this the scene I think it is? Oh my god, I'm pretty sure it is. I forgot this would happen here. The old man's laugh echoes through the sky. Assassin remains silent, in contrast to his talkative master. Battle is merely work for him. The dirks that go for his opponent's vital spots are also weapons to measure the strength of his opponent. He measures his opponent's mobility with the first dagger. He measures his opponent's action principles with the second. He always keeps 7 meters between him and the opponent. He maintains a distance at which only projectile weapons are useful and measures his opponent's skill. If he cannot kill his opponent in one blow, he will force his opponent to a place where he can. He will drive them into a corner by cutting their limbs and tiring their bodies. For Assassin, the daggers are merely preparation for his fatal attack. He uses them to analyze his target's skill, creates the perfect opportunity, and smashes his enemy with his evil arm. It's just a chore for Assassin, bringing him no joy. It's a boring chore, but the priest is better prey than he expected. He has used at least 20 daggers already. Although he uses them to determine his opponent's skill, each one is still meant to kill. The priest has blocked them and reached this ruin. He dismissed the priest as a mere human, but his powers are admirable. But this is it. His energy drained, the priest leans against a wall and stares at Assassin. He has 3 hidden black keys left. The 7 he threw were all dodged.
では巻くじゃな。慈悲をくれてやるがよい、アサシン。
The skull wavers. Assassin fires the daggers without motion, aiming for the temple, pancreas, and diaphragm. The priest challenges the lightning flashes with his black keys. There is a term called fatal attack. A move that will kill. A move that will determine victory. This is it. The 3 daggers are a feint. Kotomine Kirei will die the instant he deflects them.
死ね。
The wing flaps. The cursed arm, the one-winged spear, is developed. It's an unavoidable attack. Assassin knows the priest's capabilities. He knows his prey is tired and wounded. That is why this will kill. The prey should prevent death from the dirks. But that will be all. Even if he saved up his energy for a counter-strike, his body is incapable of carrying it out. After repelling the 3 daggers, all the priest can do is jump sideways. And only 3 meters at that. He cannot escape the arm. The cursed arm stretches out. The priest has no fear. He's prepared for it. He knows that the daggers are a feint, that the cursed arm will strike him the instant he repels the daggers, and that he has no way to avoid it. No matter what he does, he will die. That is why
セット。
the only thing he can aim for is a double kill. The skull laughs. The cursed arm going for the heart and the black keys cross. But there's no problem. Assassin's cursed arm is the only one that will directly hit the target. The black keys will certainly hit him, but how unfortunate. No matter what magic he puts on the swords, the black keys cannot kill Assassin. The 3 swords will pierce through Assassin, sticking to the tree behind him. But that's it. The priest will inflict injury, but will have his heart torn out in turn. Assassin's arm does its job first. His noble phantasm, Zabania, sticks to the priest's chest and creates a fake heart. But he feels no solid response. The man's heart gives no reaction, as if it's empty. At that instant, the impact hits him. The 3 black keys hurl Assassin backward, nailing him to a tree. There are 2 surprises. One is that the black keys have sealed his movement, and the other is...
バカな、なぜ死なぬ綺麗
The priest's black outfit flutters through the air. He jumps. The inhuman action is like a cannon firing. Amassing his strength and releasing it, he covers 10 meters in an instant, up to the trees above. He instantly seizes the head of Mato Zoken, the one who has been observing the battle.
アサシン、何をしておるか
It does not need to be said. His bodyguard is sewn to a tree by the black keys. To Assassin, this is only a scratch. But the holy nails make it impossible to save the old man.
私が殺す。私が生かす。私が傷つけ、私が癒
Yeah!
す。我が手を逃れうる者は一人もいない。我が目の届かぬ者は一人もいない。
Why challenge an enemy he knows he cannot defeat? This has always been his announced intention.
おおのれ貴様貴様
黙っていろ。舌を噛むぞ。
The priest grabs his head and drops to the ground.
打ち砕かれよ。敗れた者、老いた者を私が招く。私に委ね、私に学び、私に従え。休息を、歌を忘れず、祈りを忘れず、私を忘れず。私は軽く、あらゆる重みを忘れさせる。
He shows no mercy. The priest smashes the old magus's body on the ground, crushes his bones, and slams his head against the wall.
そうか、わしを殺すか。よかろう。好きにするがいい。だがそれで何が変わる？お前の望みが叶うとでも思うておるのか。
装うなかれ。許しには報復を。信頼には裏切りを、希望には絶望を、光ある者には闇を、生ある者には暗い死を。
He walks, leaving a smear of blood across the stones as he goes.
なんと救いようのない男よ。未だ人並みの幸福とやらを求めているのか。そのようなもの、お主には絶対にないと理解したのではなかったか。
The blood and flesh paint a picture on the wall. All that remains of the old magus is his head. His body has been ground away against the stone, and not even half of his head remains. Even with his brain pasted to the wall, the old magus gives off his last laugh.
休息は私の手に。あなたの罪に油を注ぎ、印を記そう。永遠の命は死の中でこそ与えられる。許しはここに。受肉した私が誓う。
そう、お前には永遠にない。綺麗よ。主は生まれながらの欠陥者に過ぎん。この世の道理に溶け込めぬまま生還者であり続けるがよい。
キリエ・エレイソン。
Yeah! The laughter is cut off. The shape that can't be seen by human eyes withers away. Baptismal chant. Within the systematic basis of their magic, the teachings of God are considered the greatest weapon against spirits. The key of providence that eliminates wandering souls. It sublimates the wish of the 500-year-old magus with great mercy. Time is stalled.
やだ、私こんなのやだよ、パーサーカー。
Ilya pleads to the giant. But he doesn't even try to figure out who is talking before he swings his sword.
Ilya!
I run. I was flung about 10 meters. This distance is nothing. I'll definitely make it if I run. One breath. The blood, drugs, and propellant running about in my body are like a jet stream, and the igniting thought is like a flash of lightning. I step in. My body feels light. Time seems to stand still. I'll make it. I'll definitely make it, but even if I do, I couldn't do anything with the black key. I couldn't match him. So I search, retrieve, and create it. What can beat him? What can match him? It's clear. It can be nothing less than the sword he carries. I block it. Projection succeeds as a matter of course. A crack. A crack runs through the axe sword I projected. At the same time, I'm hit with feedback that's almost strong enough to kill me, punishing me for using something forbidden. I'm flung away. My axe sword shatters beneath his second attack, and my body slides across the ground like trash. Fading. My consciousness is fading. I can't think. I can't think even if I gather up everything. My left arm revolts. My blood overflows. The restraint is still on my left arm, but my intelligence is half lost, and I feel a chill as though it'll never return. The ominous feeling will turn out to be true, and I'll start losing what I value the most. I'm enveloped by a rushing wind. I'm enveloped by intense light. I lost it. I lost it. I lost it amidst the agony. I can't find it even though I search. My mind turns into a grain of sand within a desert, lost to everyone, drying up, drying up, drying up, drying up.
シロ、しっかりして。ちゃんと自分を見つけなさい。
There's Ilya. I'm on the ground. I'm about 10 meters away from the black giant. His red, glaring eyes are looking around, as if trying to find me. My consciousness returns. This is no time to be on the ground. My body still moves. The only external wounds are scratches from tree branches. It's just pain. My tongue tries to gasp for air. There isn't any oxygen in my body from all the running, so I want air. That's all. What's important is inside my body. I don't really want to know what condition it's in, but I can still fight.
Ilya, 一旦離れるぞ。
I grab Ilya's hand and stand up. My body's alright, but I need air. I have to get out of his range to regain my breath. But
なんで？シロ、自分がどうなってるか分かってるの？
Ilya pulls away, as if denying my assistance. Something's wrong. Berserker is right behind her. I'm myself. My head's not working due to oxygen deprivation, and I can't think why Ilya might say such a thing.
イリア、
ごめんなさい。けど、もういいの。もういいから、シロ、一人で逃げて。
Ilya hangs her head. I can't think straight. I can't, so I get pissed off instead.
ああもうこんな時にまでダダこねるな。行くぞイリア。今はそんな場合じゃないだろう。
I pull her arm. Her small body, her desire to help me with that tiny body feels sacred.
何するのよシロ。もういいって言ってるじゃない。今ならまだ間に合うから、シロ一人で逃げて。
She hits my head. I ignore her.
黙ってろ。 んなことできたらな、そもそもこんなところに来てないんだよ。
And I pull her close. Ilya's eyes ask me why. She's got to be kidding me. I don't even need to explain myself.
理由なんてあるか。俺は勝手にイリアを守るだけだ。いいか、兄貴はな、妹を守るもんなんだよ。
バカじゃないの。私はシロの妹なんかじゃないもん。
いいんだよ。一度でもお兄ちゃんなんて呼ばれたら、兄貴は兄貴だ。たとえ血が繋がってなくても、イリアは俺の妹だろ。
シロ。
Black Giant turns to us.
走れ、来るぞ。
Also, Ilya is the older one. I can think later. For now, I have to get away from him as fast as possible. It's a bit strange. I'm pulling Ilya and running at a speed far beyond Emiyashiro's capabilities. I come out into a familiar clearing. Ilya's the one breathing hard. I'm not out of breath, maybe because my body's numb. My lungs are burning from lack of air, but I'm not breathing. I'm just like a corpse. My heart's gone on strike.
大丈夫。走れるから。
Ilya's fingers are unnaturally hot. She's never had the energy necessary to run. Her design didn't account for ordinary human exercise. I have a headache. Knowledge I never knew flows into my mind. Thoughts are useless. I have to get away for now. The mad, senseless giant is close on our heels. I somehow widened the gap between us, but I can't hope for that speed again. My legs are shaking, and I calmly analyze that I can only run for about 10 more meters. Ilya can't keep this up either. There's nothing here for us to hide behind, even if we wanted to. Well, hiding wouldn't accomplish much, since he can't see anything.
閉めた。
But we're fortunate. There's a crater. It's a scar on the earth made by Saber's noble phantasm.
イリア、こっちだ。
I take Ilya's hand and jump into the crater. The trench easily holds 2 people. I lean against the dirt. Raising my head for air, I see the sky. A small cutout patch of sky, as if I'm looking up from underground. I just focus on breathing. For a bit, I relax and rest my body. But it's only for an instant. The giant will not lose its prey. No matter where we run, he'll track us down and kill us. The suppressed voice is from the girl beside me. Ilya's frantically hugging herself so she won't be a burden on me. This is the end. We can't run away, and we can't take much more of this. I look down at my left arm. The sole weapon to overcome this situation is waiting for its release. I'll die. Kotomine said this is the switch of a time bomb. I recall the pain. Using projection nearly broke me. I can't imagine what the pain would be like if I released my arm. The firing hammer is always in my head. Untying the red cloth is the same as putting a gun in my mouth and pulling the trigger. Once I remove the cloth, the firing hammer will go down. My brain will splatter out the back of my head, and everything will end there. I have to be determined. The answer is already there. I need to bring Ilya back and save Sakura. I know what that means. I have to protect Ilya, defeat the shadow, and remove it from Sakura. I wished for a miracle that I can't hope to accomplish. I'm still wishing with all my might. I know it's a dream that I can't make come true, but I've never even thought about giving up. Then I have to go. I have to go save Sakura and Ilya. It's impossible. Sakura's facing death, and only destruction awaits her. Someone said it'll take a miracle to save her. That's right. Aid that's impossible with human powers. If I'm to perform a miracle that exceeds human capabilities, I'll need an appropriate compensation. I can't protect myself and someone else. If someone has to take Sakura's place in order to save her. The ground's trembling. The embodiment of the storm is closing in.
外に出る。あいつを倒していいな、イリア。
She looks up in surprise. Ilya notices that my right hand is on my left arm.
ダメ、それだけはダメ。あーちゃんの腕を使ったら戻れなくなる。死ぬのよ。いいえ、死ぬ前に殺されるわ。シローが何も悪いことをしてないシローがそこまでする必要ない。
それはなんとか我慢する。死にそうになってもなんとか我慢するから、イリアは心配しなくていい。あと一つ訂正。俺だって悪いことぐらいしてきたぞ。
シロー。
じゃあ行ってくれ。イリアはここで待っててくれ。
I pat her head and walk away. I get away from Ilya. I'm going to attract his attention and fight him head on. I have to get away from Ilya so she doesn't get involved in the fight.
来たな。
I place my hand on the knot by my shoulder. The knot by my wrist is tight, so if I'm going to take the cloth off, it'll have to be from up here. I just need to pull it all off after that. Then I'll be assailed by pain that's 10 times worse than all I've suffered until now. Kotomine said it's the switch of a time bomb. The fuse will be lit once I take it off. I don't know if it'll explode in the next minute or the next day. All I know is that I can't put out the fire once it's lit. My mouth goes dry. Fear doesn't go away with determination. I want to scream out of sheer dread. If I'll be sane or not, I'm scared of myself. My death is only natural. I'll be killed even if I stay here. If I'm going to die either way, I'll choose the method that'll keep me alive longer. So there's only one thing I'm scared of, and that is the possibility of losing my mind before my body dies. Will I be able to bear the pain? I might lose my sanity and forget about Ilya and Sakura. I might even forget the promise to protect them. That's what I'm scared of. That's the only thing I'm scared of. That's why I sealed it. I know I can't use this arm even if my life's at stake. Berserker's appearance isn't somebody else's business. I'll be like him if I give in to the pain and lose my mind. No, the fear will always be with me so long as this arm exists. This arm's the embodiment of a nightmare that seeks to kill me. But why did I keep this arm in spite of that? Then cut it off. There's only one reason. This arm exists to be used, and he entrusted me with it because it will be needed. He said I'll be judged by myself. Ilya said I haven't done anything bad.
それで十分だ。
The atonement lies here. I betrayed myself and sacrificed many lives. There's something I can't give up, and that's why I continue to live. I put my hand on the red penalty. Live or die. I take a deep breath and rip the cloth. At that instant, the world crumbles apart. blowing despair. A strong wind that's going faster than 100 meters per second. A fierce wind that doesn't allow the existence of living things, let alone allow one to stand up. Therefore, it's not a wind. It's steel, and my body's crushed by the pressure. My eyeballs are squashed. My back sinks into the wall. I can't lift my hand or fingers. My blood flows backward. My mind is bleached white. There's no pain. Feeling pain and enduring it are too human-like to happen here. I'm melting. I can't even groan in protest. There's nothing. I have no way to fight it off. I have to move forward, but I can't move a finger. I'm melting into whiteness. My body and mind impassively crumble apart. Go forward. Why am I here? Keep going forward. For what am I here? Go to the other side. Why am I fighting? Pass through the wind and move forward. I'm disappearing. My body lost already, but I clench my teeth, not letting my mind lose. But my mind is disappearing. I won't make it. I can't move, no matter how hard I try. I can't stay, no matter how determined I am. I try to clench my right fist with my whole existence on the line. If I can, I'll be able to hang in here. If I can move any part of my body, I can use that to move forward. I can't move a finger, let alone make a fist. My left eyeball is crushed. The rush of the wind ruptures my eardrums. My vision fades away. Within it, I see an unbelievable image. He's standing. He's standing in this wind. He's standing, walking to the other side, as if it's a matter of course. The wind of steel has no effect on him. He walks forward, his red coat billowing behind him. Strength is back in my jaws. I grit my teeth. My right hand is already in a fist. The Red Knight takes no notice of me. Set in a stern expression, his face is slightly turned away, showing no interest in me as the wind rushes to engulf me. For him, this result was expected. And Miyashiro cannot stand against this wind. He knew there's no future for the man who betrayed himself and wished for something out of his reach. He's right. The crimes I've accumulated will judge me. But he...
ついてこれるか?
As if to scorn me. As if to believe in me. He's waiting for me to get there.
ついてこれるか、しゃあねえ。
My vision fires up. I force as much heat as I can into my body. My limbs cut through the wind like giant swords.
てめえの方こそついてきやがれ!
I pass the red figure with all my might. I step up onto the ground. The wind's died down. There's about 30 meters to the black giant. Hang on. Let's turn the music up a bit. It'll take him less than 3 seconds to close this distance. Therefore, the outcome of this battle will be decided in the next 3 seconds. My mind's clear. I know the scope of my power. Projection using creation concept, basic structure, composition, production technique, growth experience, and accumulated years. A reality marble that inverts the world engraved on your soul. The embodiment of the mental world using theory of magic. The world egg. Inheritance of battle technique, experience, and physical strength from Archer. Correction. Failed to read physical strength. I'll still be killed in one blow. Reality marble, unlimited blade works, isn't usable. Archer's world and mine are different. I can't reproduce it. I can only reproduce what Emiyashiro has learned, or the noble phantasms he has recorded. If I'm to use a noble phantasm from my left arm, I have to search within Unlimited Blade Works for the noble phantasm best suited for the situation and reproduce it. But be warned, projection is a two-edged sword. If you use it once, it will... I hold my breath and put all my magical energy into my left arm. I only need to understand the weapons I can use. I already know the precautions. I have to move forward. I have to go beyond that wind and defeat myself.
トレースオン
I stare at it. I see through his giant sword. I open my left hand and grasp the imaginary handle of the weapon that is yet to exist. An extraordinary weight. Emiyashiro cannot handle this giant sword, but my left arm will definitely reproduce the strength of my enemy. It breaks. A part of my brain explodes. My bones break, not being able to withstand the overflowing magical energy. It's unsightly like apple skin.
いくぞ
There's no need to worry. The arm will reinforce the broken parts. I will give my undivided attention to killing him for certain. He notices me. His hostility now has a focus. Recognizing my use of magic as a threat, his eyes move. They're like ominous stars. The giant gives a death cry and runs to kill his enemy. Mad warrior. The giant is insane, but still the same. He's still fighting his battle against Saber. He is blind and insane. His life has ended twice over, and his body is rotting, but he's still fighting to protect Ilya. 1 second. The running giant won't stop with one blow, and normal projection is useless against him. Tracing won't do the trick. I can't beat that giant unless I use projection past my limits. Therefore,
トリガーオフ
9 in my head. I use all 27 magic circuits in my head and smash it in one blow. 2 seconds. He's right before me. His massive sword is upraised. Torrent and swirling vigor. He steps forward, and I confront him by also stepping forward. Upper arm, collarbone, windpipe, temple, diaphragm, rib, testicles, and thigh. I take aim at the 8 targets.
セットナインナイスブレードワークス
It's peak! I surpass the crashing speed of sound using Godspeed. He doesn't fall. His entire body has been torn through by his own weapon, but Berserker's still alive. I step forward. His weapon is in my left hand. I'm faster. I can land a finishing blow before Berserker, who's missing an eighth of his body. I raise the giant sword up to his chest and thrust it like a lance. But I lost. I put all I had into it. I used every ounce of the unfair advantage I have, but it still wasn't enough. Berserker's attack draws near. It swung down with hurricane force. I twist my body. I use all my abilities to evade his attack. I saw it coming, so I can dodge it. Berserker's attack will only graze my head. That will still kill me instantly. Even a grazing blow from that monstrous blade will be the end. A direct hit can even destroy the ground. Even a brush with the tip of his sword will scatter my head like tofu. The giant sword comes crashing down. My vision freezes the instant my head is blown away. But the sword swung with blinding speed is stopped with blinding speed. The death blow never comes. The black giant is looking forward. Not at me, who's under him. He's staring at the white girl who emerged from her cover. I pierce him. Without hesitation or mercy, I drive the giant sword into his heart. There's no counterattack. Berserker exhausts the last of his life force and crumbles to dust, for good this time. And at that moment, as his red eyes fade away, they remain focused on the girl, telling me to protect her. It's peak! Absolute cinema! Oh my god. I love Nine Lives Blade Works. That is a scene of all time. I think that's about where we were. So, since we're through that scene, I am going to get up for a little bit, so be sure to take the opportunity to stretch and what have you. Be back in a few minutes. Alright, I am back. Let's continue. The battle ends in an instant. It really does end in one breath. The boy, with trembling lips, said he was going. He suppressed his fatigue and fear, put his hand on the red restraint, and walked away from the girl. She went out to stop him. She hesitated for a second, wondering what she could say. She couldn't come up with anything, yet still followed after him. It wasn't even 10 seconds, but that slight hesitation determined the outcome. She emerges, following the boy. The battle has already ended. The giant who once protected her disappeared, his eyes fixed on her. Wind blows through the clearing, as if signaling that the conflict has ended. The figure is all that's left in her vision. The battle has ended. It's not the power of the heroic spirit's arm. Using his own power, the boy fought against his death and won. The girl keeps staring at his back. He will never turn around and look back again. He has released the shroud and defeated the giant. His figure looks heroic and powerful. There's no doubt left in him now. He cast away all agonies when he released the cloth and used projection.
Shiro.
The girl keeps watching him, filled with sorrow. His body looks like someone else's now. It's a foolish and sacred end with no return. I resume breathing. My left arm burns and I ache all over. Snakes with electricity are in my body, wriggling around like mad. I can't stay standing. Quickly. I have to quickly cover my left arm with the cloth and escape this pain, or the time limit will come. But I can't do that. Suppressing my left arm and resting comes after defeating her.
Saber.
I endure my pain and stare at her so I won't lose spirit. Maybe she's been following Berserker all along. She slowly comes closer to me, as if resuming the giant's task. 7 meters. I think I need to turn the music down a little bit more. Hang on. Saber stops once I am within range. We face each other straight on. I'll be killed. After my fight with Berserker, I can't move anymore. I'll be cut in two without being able to fight back. No. Even if I were in perfect shape, I wouldn't be able to beat Saber. I can't project anything stronger than her noble phantasm. So there's no competition. To beat Saber, I need an appropriate user to use his noble phantasm that equals her noble phantasm. There's a contradiction already. Saber's noble phantasm is the strongest. There may be heroic spirits whose noble phantasms exceed hers, but there are no such people in this Holy Grail war. If anything can beat Saber, it'll be her own sword. Therefore, a contradiction. Saber's the strongest servant in battle. Sakura did have an extraordinary amount of magical energy. But even Sakura wouldn't be able to defeat Saber. Saber is literally invincible now that she's released from me and has a great source of magical energy.
無駄なことを。あなたではさくらは救えないと忠告した結果がそれか。
There's no emotion in her voice. That's the signal. She mercilessly comes to take my life. So what? I can't be killed here. I can't lose, even against Saber. I may not be able to beat her, but I should be able to escape with Ilya.
だが幸運だな。自滅する者に関わっている場合ではなくなった。さくらが私を呼んでいる。
Saber turns around and walks off.
いや、運ではなく、自らの手で勝ち取った成果か。あなたはバーサーカーを倒した。その決意がこの結果を引き寄せたのだから。
Saber leaves without turning around. I can't call out to her. She's my enemy. No matter the reason, I'll thankfully accept the fact that she spared my life. I'm covered in wounds, leaving me nothing to spare. I stifle my pain and turn my back to Saber. I have to leave the forest with Ilya. Saber's not my only enemy. Even if I do separate Sakura from the shadow, Zoken will get in our way. I know what happened and what's going to happen to my body. I can project 3 more times at most. No, even projecting once is dangerous if I don't want any physical defects. I can't fight Zoken and Assassin in this condition. There'll be no point if my body explodes after I beat them. Then I should keep my last projection to keep my promise with Tosaka. Then there's still hope, even after I die.
シロ
I hear Ilya's voice from somewhere.
ああ、今は少しでも早く森を出よう。セイバーの、いや、さくらの気が変わったら今度こそ逃げきれない。
I can't see Ilya. My heart's thumping loudly, jumping around inside my skull. Another interlude. Purification by the holy word. The priest's exorcism disperses Mato Zoken's spiritual body. Only 2 figures remain. One is Kotomine Kirei, leaning against a wall with wounds all over his body, his cloak red with blood. The other is the masked assassin, bound to a tree by the black keys.
完全に魔術師どもを消したな、代行者。あれが虫の集まりだと知っていたのか。
He turns to the voice. Assassin is no longer there. The only things on the tree are the black keys and a small trace of blood.
あれとは長い付き合いでな。虫を触媒にしてこちらに干渉する霊体だと知っていた。故に肉体をちぎったところで効果はない。殺すのなら跡形もなく肉体をすりつぶすか。
貴様のように霊体そのものに攻撃するか。なるほど。人間にしては強いくくりでとどまっていた魔術師どもだが、経典による聖言には弱かろう。悪霊払いとはよく言ったものだ。魔頭造剣にとって貴様は天敵だったということか。
The priest doesn't answer, but checks on his wounded body. The bleeding has stopped. He's out of weapons, but he suffered no fatal wounds, and his strength should return once he rests for a few minutes.
それでどうするのだ、アサシン。お前のマスターは消えた。魔力提供がなくなったお前ならば、私の聖言でも十分に通用する
だろうな。この体はじき消える。新しいマスターを得なければ、この森に漂う浮遊霊と大差はない。この身は一日を待たず下級霊に落ち、この世から消えるだろう。
そうだ。マスターのいないサーバントであらば、私でも傷は与えられる。それでどうなのだ。主の敵討ちをするか、アサシン。
それほど推挙ではない。魔術師殿は慢心によって敗北した。私の落ち度とは思えん。思えんが合点のいかぬことがある。それを聞かねば収まりがつかん。
ザバーニーヤの不成功か。シャイタンより譲り受けた腕と見たが、ザバーニーヤの名を冠する以上、私に効き目はない。それは人を罰するものゆえ、同種の存在を呪えるものではない。すでに人のものではない私の心臓は、呪いにはめっぽう強いのだ。
やはり貴様の心臓はあの娘と同じだった。貴様、すでに汚染されていたな。
The priest doesn't answer. He merely smiles ironically.
だとしてもなぜ知っていた。貴様の行動は私の腕が効かないと知っていなければできぬことだ。貴様は初めから私に宝具を使わせるつもりでいたな。
そうだな。お前の腕は知っていたぞ、アサシン。対象の心臓と全く同じ偶像を作り、反響存在とすることで実像の心臓とすり替える呪いの腕。私のサーバントはその腕によって破れたのだ。
では貴様は。
ああ、見ていたとも。知っていたのは当然だろう。ランサーを倒した時点でお前の身体は決まっていた。
確かにこれは失態だ。
Assassin tuts to himself in... there's no to himself there. Assassin tuts in self-deprecation. His hostility disappears at the same time. He must be satisfied with the answer, as he quickly retreats.
次の契約者を探しに行ったか。大方。次の雇用主は的さくらといったところだが。
That's not a problem for the priest. It's fine as long as Mato Zoken doesn't kill Mato Sakura. Zoken's wish is immortality. He can achieve his wish by having Sakura's body turn into the Holy Grail. The curse in the Holy Grail will not hatch if the old man is alive. It's meaningless if Sakura becomes his tool. She needs to remain a master. Because...
そう、お前には永遠にない。主は生まれながら欠落しておる。
he gets dizzy. It must be because of the fatigue and loss of blood. The priest leans against the wall and closes his eyes. It all happened 10 years ago. Defective from birth, the man did everything he could after accepting the fact. He couldn't understand morals, but had common sense, so his teenage years were spent trying to overcome his defect. But it never happened. The man's purgatories and sufferings were entirely useless, and his final attempt was a woman. It's a simple story. Every human wishes to love one of the opposite sex. Not really. Have a family. Not really. And die peacefully. Even if one may detest the peace, one can only dream about it. This man is no exception. He wished for such a thing, even though he felt no fascination in it. He loved a woman, trying to earn ordinary happiness. The man chose a woman with no future. She was terminally ill, only expected to live for a few more years. Did he choose her because of that, or was that his only choice? He still doesn't know. Their life together lasted for about 2 years. The man tried to love the woman. The woman tried to love the man, did love him, and even had his child. But the result didn't change. It was because the man derived his happiness from the woman's suffering and his child's despair. The more he tried to love, the more their suffering saved him. The contradiction didn't make the man suffer. He doesn't even know if he suffered. But the more the woman tried to cure him, the more he wanted to see her grieve. The woman was a saint. She was sickly, but she was still a saint for him. It need not be said how faithful she was or how deeply she understood his anger. That's why the man was in despair. No human will ever understand him and try to heal him to her degree, and this woman still could not fill the void within him. Then, there was no need to live and question right and wrong. He was born defective. His birth was some kind of mistake. He concluded that if his existence was a mistake, it was best to disappear, and he went to bid goodbye to the woman before he died. He made her his wife as an experiment, so it's his natural duty to go tell her of his end. The woman loved Kotomine. Kotomine tried to love the woman. That's all there is to this story. The end came relatively quickly.
私にはお前を愛せなかった
That's all the man said in the room made of stone. The dying woman smiled. She was unable to stand up, because her body was now composed of just skin and bone.
いいえ。あなたは私を愛しています。
With a smile, she took her own life. There was no way to stop her, and stopping her was meaningless. The woman had a fatal disease. She would eventually die. He knew that when he chose her. The woman, covered in blood, looked up at the man and smiled.
ほら、あなた、泣いているの。
He wasn't crying, of course. It's just that the woman saw it that way. The woman used her death to prove to him that he could love, and that he deserved to live. The man silently left the room and broke away from the teachings of God. Yes, he certainly felt sad, but not because she died. The man at that time thought,
なんということだ。どうせ死ぬのなら私が手を下した。
he grieved over losing the chance to enjoy her death. It happened long ago. He can't remember her voice or her face. But sometimes he thinks,
私が手を下したかった。
is that for his pleasure, or is it grief over wanting to kill the one he loved with his own hands? He cuts off his thought process whenever the answer flickers in his head. It's something that should be hidden forever. The woman's death was meaningless. Her devotion couldn't change him. But the man didn't want to consider her death to be worthless, so he stopped searching for answers. It all happened long ago. The memory of the man who feeds on others' misfortunes. The man later meets his nemesis, Emiya Kiritsugu, a magus that cast away what the man might have wanted. He opens his eyes. It seems he fell asleep. He checks his condition, starts to walk to catch up to Emiya Shiro, and...
いいえ。どこにも行けない。だって、あなたはここで死ぬんだもの。
is interrupted by a girl. She has completely changed. Is this the first time we're seeing Dark Sakura? I think it is. Her black outfit is her shadow. She's covering her body with her own dark magical energy. The amount and the presence of her magical energy is beyond human capabilities. She's at the same level as pure heroic spirits, the Counter Guardians.
完全に汚染されたな、麻藤さくら。体だけではない。精神まであの呪いに同調しなければ、そこまでの変貌はない。認めたな。自分が怪物なのだと。
Even though the priest wished for it, he still criticizes the girl, as if to blame her for being intoxicated with her power.
そう自分の力に酔うのはいけませんか。けどきっと仕方のないことなんですよ。もっとみんなが優しかったら私だってもう少しぐらい我慢したと思うんです。
ほう。我慢とは何をかな。
自分をですよ。神父さん、こうなってやっと認められました。私この世界が嫌いなんです。私を捨てた遠坂の家、私とは何もかも違う。何不自由なく生きてきた姉さん、怖いおじいさまとかわいそうな兄さん、私の痛みも知らず平穏に過ごす街並み、そういうのがこれが八つ当たりだって理解しています。けど悪いことだって分かっていても思ってしまうんです。そう、今まで私を助けてくれなかった全てに私を思い知らせてあげたらどんな顔をするのかって。
The girl smiles, as if it's a sacred pleasure. The priest doesn't change his expression. He keeps staring at the girl as if regarding something foul.
変わったな、麻藤さくら。なるほど。その闇も適合するための素質だったというわけか。
ええ、変わりました。私は今までの麻藤さくらじゃない。あんな弱い子はもういないの。そう、今までみんな私を苦しめてきたんだもの。その仕返しに私がみんなを苦しめてあげるだけ。ただ耐えているだけの私はとっくに消えたわ。
She laughs. Double personality. The original Mato Sakura disappeared, and the other personality surfaced. That's the only logical reason for her change. But...
何を言う。隠す必要などないぞ、麻藤さくら。
the priest quickly denies it.
何をですか。
隠す必要などないと言った。お前は別人格などではない。泥に飲まれ暴力に酔うお前もまた麻藤さくらだ。異なる人格を用意し、麻藤さくらは悪くないなどと言い訳をする必要はない。
Her face stiffens. He's absolutely right. The girl grits her teeth and glares back at the priest.
何よ、あなたが私をこうしたくせに。
The girl's shadow reacts to her hateful voice. A blazing infringement. The shadow covers the ground in an instant.
否定はせん。私がお前を生かしたのはあれのマスターを続けさせるためだ。その期待に応え、お前は見事アベンジャーを誕生させようとしている。私ではできなかったことをお前は難なくやってのけたのだ。
難なくなんかじゃない。私が どれだけ苦しかったのか、今もどれだけ苦しいのか知りもしないで。
知らんし知る必要もない。小娘の恨み事を聞くほど水郷ではないのでな。
そうですね。私も知ってほしいなんて思わない。そんな簡単に同情なんてされてやらない。私はこれから一方的に思い知らせる立場なんですから。
She smiles cruelly. The priest retreats without any hesitation. He quickly backs away, like when he captured Mato Zoken. The priest retreats with one jump. She may have vast magical energy, but she's still inexperienced. She has no experience with battle, and she's unskilled as a magus. It's easy for him to retreat.
バカな人、逃げられると思うの、私から。
She smiles. The priest falls to the ground at that instant. He rolls down. He falls to the ground, coughing up blood. It doesn't stop. He can't stop coughing up blood. Every time he tries to breathe, it wells up in his throat.
どうですか？心臓をわしづかみにされた感想は。どこにいようと、あなたの命は私の手の上なんですよ。神父さん、あなたはもう10年前に死んでいた。エミやキリズクに心臓を撃ち抜かれて死んだんです。それでも生きてこれた理由はただ一つ。あなたは誰だったかな。この前食べたサーバントさんなんですけど、まあ名前なんていいですよね。あの金色の人が聖杯の中身を浴びて、まずあれとつながった。けどあの人は汚染できなくて、あれはマスターであるあなたに流れていったんですよね。そうしてあなたは蘇生した。アベンジャー、アンリマユから魔力を供給されることで一命を取り留めたんです。
そうか。では今のは。
はい、あなたはアンリマユとつながっている。けどアンリマユはもう私でしょ。だから潰してあげたんです。今まであなたを生かしていたかりそめの心臓を壊しました。お望みなら中身を全部潰してあげましょうか。私の手はあなたがどこにいようとその中身を引きずり出せるんですから。
She raises her hand. How can she say if you want? The girl has no intention of keeping him alive. No matter how much he may beg for his life, she'll laugh as she kills him. He'll give her back his fake life. Because it's hers. Even if it's just a speck next to her total magical energy, there's no reason for her to let the priest keep it.
さよなら。私を生かしてくれたことだけは感謝しますね。
She grasps her slender fingers together as if to twist apart an invisible doll. A crushing sound. The priest's body is squeezed like a rag. One more twist. The priest will die in the next second. But right before that... The girl doubles over in pain. She coughs up blood, She scratches the ground as if begging for help. The shadow expands. What happened? The shadow on her body expands, then slowly shrinks back to the original size.
バーサーカーが負けるなんて。
There's no other explanation. Berserker was defeated. He died, dissolving into pure magical energy, and was consumed by her, the Holy Grail. Her mind distorts. The personality called Mato Sakura is pushed even further into a corner now. She can't move any farther, but the Great Soul pushes her against the wall. She'll disappear. She'll disappear. Mato Sakura will disappear. She thinks of killing the priest, looks up, and is annoyed by her failure to follow through.
いいです。どうせ放っておいてもすぐ死ぬ。だから。
There's no one at the ruin. On the ground where Kotomine Kirei lay is his blood-soaked outfit. Interlude out. We reached the forest's edge faster than I expected. It's probably because I had Ilia's guidance. The car I arrived in is gone. We started walking to town, stopped a car, and got a lift. We're both filthy after running through the forest, making us look really suspicious. So I jumped out in front of a car to stop it, and Ilia used suggestion on the driver to make him pick us up. Good going, guys. Man, I never thought I'd get a ride like this. With the static fuzz over the images and the way the music keeps changing, clearly Shiro's doing great. We're back at my place in an instant. The sun's setting. It seems I fell asleep on the way back. The sun has set by the time I make it to the living room. It's past 7 o'clock already. Something's wrong. Time's passing by too fast. It was afternoon when I stepped into the house, so it's not possible for it to be night as soon as I step into the living room.
エリア、なんか時間が過ぎるの早すぎないか?
I talk to Ilia, standing beside me. But Ilia isn't there. Ilia is...
晩ご飯なら美味しかったよ、シロ。
already in the living room, saying strange things.
晩ご飯?
ええ、まずは栄養を取るんだって言った時は驚いたけど、おかげでいい思いしちゃった。シロは張り切って台所に立ってたし。
Shiro's doing awesome. There are remnants of dinner on the table. There are dishes in the sink. Come to think of it, I feel pretty full. It seems I really did make dinner.
おかしいな。こんな食材買い置きしてたっけ?
してないよ。してないから商店街でおろしてもらっていっぱい買い物してきたんじゃない。
I look through my memory. Well, I guess that's what happened.
そうか。変なこと言っちまったな。とりあえず、夕食は済んだんだ。
ええ、あとはゆっくり休むだけだね、シロ。
うん、そうだな。休まないとな。ちょっと部屋で着替えてくる。話があるから、イリアはもうちょっと起きててくれ。すぐ戻る。
Ilya nods. I raise my hand in apology and leave the living room. And the next thing I know, I'm in my room. The instant I step out of the living room, I'm on the floor in my bedroom. I wake up because of the piercing pain. A sword's pierced in my chest. That's the first thing I imagine because my chest is hot and numb and it feels like my life is draining out from it. There's no sword, of course. It's just an illusion. The left side of my chest is simply rebelling against my left arm. But I finally realize my sense of time. The intermittent scenes are...
おかしいのは時間の感覚じゃなくて。
It's just that my mind is screwed up. It's not that I have no memory. I just can't record the events into my brain. I can't hold events in my mind unless I concentrate on them. It's natural that I can't remember anything that happened after I left the forest. I can't stay conscious unless I'm in pain, like now. I frantically grasp at my fading consciousness. Unless I consciously focus my mind, Emiyashiro will disappear. Only pain or the utmost concentration can preserve my memories. In short, I have to maintain the level of concentration I had when I was trying to insert the magic circuit into my spine. I'm stumped. I can't keep this up forever, and I don't know how long it'll work.
待てよ。となると、眠るのはまずいよな。
Once I fall asleep, I won't be able to wake up. Once I fall asleep, Emiyashiro will never return. Even if my body's unwounded, my mind would be scattered. I raise my body. I search through my desk. I need a small blade, something I can hide in my right hand that'll dig into my flesh if I make a fist. I can't keep up the concentration I have during training. I have to clench my fist every time I relax so that the pain will keep me conscious.
刃物とはいかないけど、これなら。
I find the crystal from that day. The pendant I found beside me after I was killed by Lancer. I don't know how much magical energy was originally in this, but now there's not even enough for one strengthening magic left in it. That's right. Now I can clearly think about who this pendant belongs to, and who could have saved me that night. After all, she was the only other person at school at that time. I don't know why she saved me, but she wouldn't need a reason to save a life. My consciousness starts to fade away. I'll think about it later. I'll fall unconscious if I think about happy things and relax. I check my condition. I release the seal on my left arm. I put the shroud back on it, but it's only there to ease my mind. According to Kotomine, the switch would be tripped if I used Archer's arm. He said there'd be nothing I could do after that. But I can still move my body. The problem is my mind, but I can stay conscious as long as I stay awake. As for projection, I can probably project 3 more times using Archer's arm. I know I can manage it once. I'm scared about the second time. The third will be fatal. I think my body will self-destruct, even if my mind's still alive. I close my eyes and strain my ears. I hear the creaking sounds along with my heartbeat. The thing invading my body from Archer's arm. It gets harder to suppress his reality marble the more I use his blade works. Eventually, an infinite number of blades will be created inside my body instead of outside. I don't even want to imagine what'll happen. 1,000 blades will pierce my body from within, killing me instantly.
冗談。死滅なんかしてたまるか。
I'm in a hopeless condition. I accept the whole situation, but I reject the facts as they stand. I won't die, and I won't self-destruct. Not waking up after I fall asleep is just a product of my frightened imagination. I'll be saved. I'll be saved once I do everything I need to. It's meaningless otherwise. I said I'll protect Sakura no matter what, so I can't just die selfishly.
そうだ。まず、遠坂に連絡を取らないと。
I don't have time. I'll go to her house. I'm worried about whether Kotomine's alright, but he's not my ally anymore now that we've saved Ilya. I can't ask for his help again, but the promise to... It's past 9 o'clock. I thought I came back right away, but it's been 2 hours already.
悪い。待たせた、イリア。今から遠坂の家に行くから一緒に行こう。
リンの家？別に私は構わないけど。なんで？
なんでって、遠坂と合流しないと。それに、あいつの容態だって気になるだろう。琴峰は夜になれば回復するとか言ってたけど、あいつの言い分はいまいち信用できない。遠坂が参ってたら手当てをしてやらないと。
それはいいけど、シロ。
Ilya points to the wall. Then...
心配してもらって嬉しいわ。とりあえず私の調子は見ての通りよ。けど、そこまで気にかけてくれるんだったら、森に行く前に私の家に寄っていってほしかったわね。
遠坂、いつの間にこっちに来てたんだ。
ほんの1時間前よ。森で何が起きたのかはイリアから聞いたわ。
Tosaka's in a bad mood. No, she's angry. It seems she doesn't like the fact that I went to the forest without her.
仕方ないだろう。あの時は一刻を争うと思ったし、事実イリアだって危ないところだったんだ。だったんだよな、イリア。
そうね。私は閉じ込められてはいなかったけど、数分後には大聖杯に連れて行かれて心臓を抜き取られていてもおかしくなかった。条件は桜を乗っ取り次第私で門を開けようとしていたから。シロと琴峰が来るのがあとちょっとでも遅かったら今頃は死んでいたわ。
ほら、遠坂を待ってたら間に合わなかっただろ。
どうだか今の言い訳じゃ桜次第ってことでしょ。イリア、本当のところはどうなのよ。あ、やっぱりバレちゃったか。ええ、本当はもうちょっと猶予があったかな。桜は芯が強いから簡単に壊れたりしない。桜が自我をなくして造形の操り人形になるまであと1日は間があったでしょうね。やっぱりあのね、イリア、あんまりシロを甘やかしちゃダメよ。こいつには人一倍厳しいぐらいがちょうどいいんだから。そうね、リンがシロにそうしてくれるなら私はもう安心かな。
The two criticize me. But if the time limit was a day, I don't think we would have made it if I'd waited for Tosaka. I was faced with an important choice in the forest, but in exchange, I'm able to regain the time the three of us can spend together. I concentrate hard since I'm starting to relax. It seems the tension faded away during the conversation.
ちょっと待ってくれ、イリア。桜が一日持つかどうかってことは 残った猶予はあと
半日あるかどうかよ。いいえ、さくらがどう頑張ってももうアベンジャーは生まれようとしている。あれが受胎してしまえばさくらは完全に変わる。誰もさくらを助けられなくなるし、誰も助からなくなるのよ。
アベンジャー。
Tosaka and I frown at the strange word.
そう、復讐者。聖杯戦争における第8のクラス、ハインツベルンがルールを破ってまで召喚した反則よ。それが大聖杯の中を呪いで汚染したもの。自分じゃ外に出れないからってさくらと同化して黒い影を映していた本体。そして今も形を得ようと人間の命を食べ続けているありえない存在。それがアベンジャー。3度目の儀式でアインツベルンのマスターが召喚してしまった呼んではいけなかった半英雄。
イリア、あなた知ってるの？あの影が何なのか、さくらが何に取りつかれてるかって。
ええ、さくらから必要な情報を取り出して何が起きているのかは理解できた。私がやるべきこと、シローたちが敵とみなしているものが何であるかを。
Ilya closes her eyes once more. Is that resignation? Ilya sighs and then stares at us.
これから話すことは私たちの確信であり、もう関係のない話。あなたたちが背負うべきものでもない。シローとリンには聖杯戦争に関わった最後のマスターとしてただ事実だけを口にします。
イリア。
Tosaka looks at Ilya in surprise. I do likewise. Ilya shows calmness and emptiness as if she's someone else.
事の起こりは200年前。いえ、聖杯を求める彼らの放浪はもっと前から続いていたけど、この土地での儀式が始まったのは200年前からだった。話はそこから始めるわ。聖杯、あらゆる願いを叶える願望旗。その完成のためアインツベルンとマキリ、遠坂は協力して聖杯を召喚する儀式を行った。それが聖杯戦争の発端。7人の英霊を召喚して聖杯の所有権を定める殺し合い。聖杯によってマスターに選ばれた魔術師は英霊のよりしろとなり、最後の一人になるまで殺し合う。それがシローとリンが知っている聖杯戦争の表向きの決まり事。驚かないのね、リン。やっぱりあなたもうすうすは感づいていたの？
それなりにはね。誰かに利用されてるってことはすぐに気づいたけど、あんまり気にはしなかったわ。人様が作ったシステムを使ってその成果をいただこうって言うんだもの。いちいち目くじら立てるほどバカじゃないわ。
そう。じゃあ順番が逆ということはもう説明しなくていい？シローはどう？本当はサーバント同士に戦わせるなんて過程そのものが余分なんだって気づいてた？
Well, I did know. Servants are summoned by the Holy Grail. The heroic spirits are summoned to determine whether the summoner deserves the Holy Grail. Once summoned, they make a contract with a master to stay in this world and obtain the Holy Grail. Then they go out to defeat the other masters and servants. In and of itself, that's not a problem. But once I found out the defeated heroic spirits are absorbed into the Holy Grail, something felt off. Heroic spirits. Servants are only a factor in determining which master is suited for the Holy Grail. So why are they taken into the Holy Grail after their purpose has been served?
つまり聖杯戦争にとって必要なのは英霊だけで、マスターはただ英霊を呼び寄せるためだけの道具だってことか。
そう。聖杯戦争という儀式においてマスターはサーバントをこの世に呼び出すレセプターに過ぎない。サーバントさえ召喚してくれれば
あとはマスターなんていつ死んでもらっても構わないのよ。聖杯完成に必要なものは英霊だけ。時間軸の外にいる純粋な魂、この世の道理から外れなおこの世に干渉できる外界の力、それが英霊の本質でしょ。彼らはその力を必要とした。その力を持って外界に出ようとした。それがこの地に作られた聖杯の本当の目的。人の手では届かぬ奇跡、未だ人間のものではない現象を手に入れるため、この地における聖杯戦争は行われてきた。それは私たちから失われたとされる神秘、真の不老不死を実現させる大儀礼。英霊でも精霊でもない、意図小さき人の位において肉体の死後に消え去り帰り、この世から失われる魂を物質化する神の技。その奇跡の名をヘブンズフィール。現存する5つの魔法のうちの1つ、3番目に位置する黄金の杯よ。魔法ってあの魔法？
The air tenses up. Ilya says that the Holy Grail is a ritual to perform a sorcery. Sorcery. A divine mystery that cannot be reached with magic. An impossible phenomenon that cannot be achieved by modern people. It's the ultimate goal of every magus, and those who achieve it are called sorcerers with envy and awe. There are 5 sorceries acknowledged by the Magic Association. As I'm not even in the association, I have no way to know, but I've heard that there are 5 sorceries, and that there are about 4 sorcerers.
ちょっと待って、第3魔法って魂の物質化なの？けどそれならサーバントだって魂の物質化じゃない。違うわ。確かにシステムの基盤は第3魔法の一部を使っているけど、英霊はあくまで高霊でしょ。サーバントはこの地上にこの時代のものとして生きているわけじゃない。第3魔法としては不完全だし、英霊なら魔法の力なんてなくてもよりしろさえあれば実体化できる。ヘブンズフィールは過去にいたものを読み上げて複製体を作る技じゃない。それは精神体でありながら単体で物質界に干渉できる高次元の存在を作る技。魂そのものを生き物にして生命体として次のステップに向かうものを言うのよ。次のステップって、確かにそれはとんでもない大事だけど、でもイリア、どんなに内容が違うって言っても魔法は全部根源に至る道でしょ。それが聖杯とどんな関係があるのよ。いいえ、だいたい魔法を起動できるような管理地は日本に一つしかない。冬木の霊脈も一級品だって自負してるけど、それでも根源につながるほどの歪みはないわ。ええ、届くほど歪んではいない。だから穴を開けるのよ。道がつながっていないなら自分たちで壁を壊すしかないでしょ。その壁を壊すという行為が聖杯戦争なの。その過程でどんな願いでも叶えられるぐらいの魔力がたまるのだけど、それはアインツベルンには二次的なもの、もしくはマスターを呼び寄せるための宣伝でしかなかった。アインツベルンが必要としたのは魔術協会の目につかず大量の魔力を貯蔵できる巨大な魔法陣だけ。時の遠坂の当主は彼らに協力した。もともと教会の目が届きにくいこの国で青崎のパンリ地に次ぐ一等地は数少ないわ。
Mahoyo mentioned.
ハインツベルンにとって冬木の町は必要条件を満たした完璧に近い実験場だった。あとはもうわかるでしょ。聖杯戦争を司る聖杯は2種類ある。この土地に眠る聖杯とハインツベルンが用意する聖杯。前者が
遠坂の管理地を使った魔法陣。これを大聖杯と呼び、ハインツベルンが毎回鍵として用意するものを聖杯と呼ぶ。大聖杯は聖杯戦争のシステムを管理するもので、聖杯は破れていた英霊の魂を回収し、大聖杯を動かすための炉心に当たるわ。そうして大聖杯起動に必要な分の魂が聖杯に溜まった時、外部からのまり人である英霊の魂を利用して穴を開ける。役目を終えた彼らが元の座に戻ろうとする瞬間、わずかに開いた穴を大聖杯の力で固定し、人の身では届かない根源への道を開く。もちろんこんなのは初めの一歩。花を開けられたところで望みのものは手に入らない。根源への道は遠すぎる。それでも聖杯を手にした者は無尽蔵の魔力を手に入れられる。あっち側にはまだ誰も使っていない、この地上とは比べ物にならない大量のマナが散布されてるからね。普通の魔術師ならそれだけでも十分奇跡と呼べる成果のはずよ。
そう、要するに大聖杯っていう大元の魔法陣があって、聖杯はそれを起動させる鍵なわけね。聖杯戦争が50年周期なのは英霊を召喚するだけのマナを貯めるためか。それだけの召喚術、個人の魔力で起動できるはずがない。大聖杯は50年かけてこの土地に満ちるマナを枯らさないよう少しずつ吸い上げ、それが溜まった時、
そう、英霊を召喚してサーバントにする。けど英霊を召喚するには代償が必要なの。彼らは望むものを与えてあげないとこちらの召喚に応じてくれない。だから聖杯を用意して彼らの望みに応えてあげた。もっともそんなのは初めから欺瞞だけど、ハインツベルンは元から英霊の魂だけが欲しかった。彼らの霊格なんてどうでもよくて、ただ強大な魂が欲しかっただけよ。それを隠すために聖杯戦争なんて表向きのルールを作って、サーバントとマスターを騙して今まで殺し合いを続けさせた。そうなったのは2回目の儀式かららしいわ。1度目はバカ正直に英霊を召喚して、遠坂とマキリとアインツベルンで独占権の取り合いになって、あっという間に失敗したんだって。だから今のルールができたのは2回目からよ。外来の魔術師を呼び寄せて、それぞれ聖杯を目的にして殺し合わせる。自分たち以外のマスターなんてサーバントさえ呼んでしまえば邪魔なだけだし、戦いの中で死んでもらった方が効率がいい。3家にとってみれば自分たち以外の協力者を合法的に始末できるんだから、都合が良かったのよ。
呆れた。じゃあ何？マスター同士殺し合うってルールは所有権が誰にあるか話し合いで解決できなかったから力ずくで決めようとしたことの末路なわけ？
そうよ。でもその殺し合うって選定方法は思いのほか合っていたわ。今のリンと同じよ。騙されてると気づくサーバントやマスターもいたけど、そんな背景はどうでもよかったみたいね。だって勝ち残れば結果として聖杯は手に入るんだから。
Tosaka's convinced. In short, the Holy Grail War is not a battle to obtain the Holy Grail, but a ritual to escape to the outside world. Attempts to reach the outside world. According to Hermeticism, there's a power that governs dimensional theory outside of this world. It's called the Swirl of the Origin, and it's a coordinate that's considered to be the beginning of all things. It's the start and the end of all creation. It's the seed of God, recording everything and able to create anything. But I really don't care about that. My father would have understood what a big deal it is, but it doesn't concern me. what's possessing Sakura is much more important to me than how it all started.
イリア、聖杯戦争の本当の目的とかはいい。イリアの言った通り、それは俺たちには関係のない話だ。それより、さっき言ってたやつのことを聞かせてくれ。
関係ないって魔法よ魔法。しかも3番目の魔法なんて教会でもずっと秘密にされてきた禁忌中の禁忌じゃない。あなたも魔術師なら第3魔法って聞いて無視できるわけ。
できる。まったく何考えてるんだ遠坂。今はそんな成功しないものの話をしている場合じゃないだろう。
成功しないって一体どんな根拠様よそれ。
あのな、理由はわからないが聖杯戦争は一度も勝利者を出していないだろう。ならこの儀式はどこかで仕組みを間違えていたってことだ。大体な、そうでなかったらさくらのことをどう説明するんだ。聖杯が魔法に至る道だっていうならさくらがあんな風になるのも魔法なのかよ。
Maybe I convinced her because she shuts her mouth.
それでイリア、どうしてこの聖杯戦争はこんなことになったんだ。聖杯の中には何かがいると琴峰は言った。その何かっていうのがアベンジャーってやつなのか。そいつは聖杯、イリアやさくらの中じゃなく大聖杯とかいう魔法陣の中にいると。
そっか、琴峰なら知っているわよね。あいつもさくらと同じ復讐者に汚染された魔術師だもの。聖杯の中にいるものが何であるかとっくの昔に知っていたんだ。
綺麗がさくらと同じ？
そうよ。ここからはシローとリンに関係のある話。造剣が手に入れようとしているもの、さくらを変貌させているもの、聖杯の中に潜み無色の力である英霊たちの魂を汚染しているものの話。そいつのクラス名がアベンジャー。聖杯の力で生命として形を得ようとしている第三魔法の成功例になりつつある英霊よ。
は？ちょっと何が魔法は関係ないよ。ちゃんと関係してるじゃない、ちゃんと。
いいえ、アベンジャーの物質化は聖杯による魔法じゃない。あれは元からそういう属性を持った英霊だった。アベンジャーだからこそ聖杯の中で物質化が可能なの。大聖杯は第三魔法を成し得る復讐者を呼び出したに過ぎず、大聖杯自体が第三魔法を成し得たわけではないわ。
つまりそいつは初めから物質化できる怪物だったってこと？大聖杯による魔法が成功しなくても勝手に第三魔法を体現するやつってこと？
そうよ。事の発端は3度目の戦いだった。1度目は失敗。2度目に序盤で敗れ去ったアインツベルンは追い詰められて、ただ殺すことだけに特化した英霊を召喚したの。アインツベルンが手にした古い経典異国の伝承を触媒にして手の内にある中で最悪の魔を呼び出した。他のマスターたちを皆殺しにして問答無用で大聖杯を起動させ、聖火を独り占めするために呼んではならないものを呼び寄せてしまった。その英霊の名がアンリマユ。世界最多ともいえるあらゆる呪いを体現した殺戮の半英雄。
That's my boy.
マユ。
Hold on. Angra Mainyu is the name of the ancient Persian devil. It's the embodiment of evil, the greatest devil in Zoroastrianism. It fights a 9,000-year battle against Ahura Mazda, protector of human goodness. Why do you know all of this, Shiro? This seems like an odd thing for your average Japanese teenager to know. Zoroastrianism is a story mainly about the battle between these two gods. It's the first religion to come up with the doctrine of duality, the angels and the devil. But the story contains no hero named Angra Mainyu. First of all, how can someone crowned with the name of the King of Devils become a heroic spirit?
そんなわけないでしょイリア。聖杯は英霊しか呼べないし、そんな心霊レベルの現象を再現できるなら聖杯なんて必要ない。いえ、そもそもアンリ・マユの名を冠する英雄なんているはずがない。いたとしてもそれは無名の歴史に何の痕跡も残してない悪霊に過ぎないわ。呼び寄せたところで聖杯にふさわしい魂なんて持ち得ない。イリア、アインツベルのマスターは一体何を召喚したの？
だからアンリ・マユよ、リン。彼は確かに無名であったし、真実、悪魔などではなかった。けれど、アンリ・マユの名を冠した英雄は確かに存在したの。ええ。もうずっと昔、気の遠くなるくらい昔のちっぽけな世界の話を。それは名前もないある村落に現れた英雄だった。彼らの教義がどう歪んでいたかは知らない。どうしてそんな考えに至ったかなんてわからない。ただ彼らは教義に基づいて清く正しく生きていた。人間は善を尊び、光を守り、正しく生きる。貧しく外界から隔離された彼らにとってその祈りは絶対だった。そうであることが人間以下である彼らを人間たらしめる唯一の誇りだったんでしょうね。そう、その村落の人たちはね、本気で世界中みんなが平和であることを望んでいた。人間すべてがくだらない悪性から解き放たれ、清く正しく生きられるように、飢餓とか殺戮とか愛憎とか、あらかじめ人に付属された機能すべてを否定して、自分たちは神に祝福されるにふさわしい生き物だって誇り続けた。けどそれは不可能な話よ。人間清く正しく生きているだけじゃ悪性からは解放されないもの。悪とは元からあるもの。それを切り離したいのなら何らかの手段を講じるしかない。そうしてその手段は実行された。彼らは自分たちの狭い世界だけでなく人間すべてを救える手段を考えついたの。この世の人間すべてに善行を取らせることは難しいけど、人間すべての善性を証明することはできる。たった一人の人間にこの世の悪を独り占めさせてしまえば、残った人たちはどうあっても悪いことができない。そんな子供みたいに単純なことを彼らは本気で信じてしまった。そうして一人の青年が生贄に選ばれた。彼らは青年を捕らえ、その全身に人を呪うあらゆる言葉を刻み、彼らが知り得るすべての罪業を与え、すべての悪事を彼の責任とした。それでおしまい。狭い世界けれど完成された一つの世界において究極の悪性が誕生した。彼らは彼を心底呪い、侮蔑し、恐れ、同時に奉った。我々は清く正しい。あそこにこの世のすべての罪悪があるのなら、我々は何をしても善なるものだと。彼らは本気で世界中の人間のためになると信じて一人の悪魔を作り上げた。世界中の人々の善性を証明するために一人の青年を崩壊するまで殺し続けた。いえ、その寿命が尽きるまで殺してなどあげなかった。人間を堕落させる悪魔の名前、アンリ・マユの名前を与えられた青年は世界中の人間の敵としてただ理不尽に殺され憎まれ続けたの。その過程で青年が本当に悪魔になったかどうかは知らない。ただ村落中の人間が彼を悪魔だと信じ、そのように扱った。憎みながら恐れながら世界中の人間の善性を証明してくれる
自分たちにとっての救いの証として立てまつった意味嫌われる対象でありながら人々を救う者、その存在があるだけでどんなに人々が悪事を重ねようとも、そう方法は違えど彼は人々を救った。村人たちにとって彼はこの上ない英雄となった。そうして一人の英雄が誕生した。人々に恨まれ自分などとうになくなっていつか本当にそうなってしまったもの。世界中の人間の代わりに悪を公言する哀れな生贄、それが半英雄アンリマユ。この世すべての悪と決めつけられた何の取り柄もなかった。ただ普通に生まれただけの一般人。廃家教において60億の悪すべてを容認するという悪魔の王、その体現者として葬られた原初の人の想念が作り上げた願いという名の呪いの形。
Ilya finishes her story with no sign of bitterness or contempt. Anti-hero. Kotomine introduced me to the term when the war started. But if Ilya's story is true, the guy who turned into Angraminyu is still burdened with all the sins. I just gotta say, I really love the Type Moon concept of an anti-hero because it's not the same thing as like the literary concept of an anti-hero. You know, the literary concept is like they're the hero, but they do some bad things. They aren't heroic in the typical sense. Whereas the Type Moon interpretation of the term is like they saved people by being the villain, like they just described with Angraminyu. He quote-unquote saved people by shouldering the burdens of all of their sins, by being a scapegoat. Medusa is a quote-unquote hero for similar reasons. Trying to think of other anti-heroes. I don't know. It's just a neat concept. It's a neat interpretation of the term within the context of the series. I enjoy it. It's because that's his reason of existence. A heroic spirit who's had 6 billion sins pushed onto him. If a guy like that is summoned, all that'll happen is a big massacre. It'd only be natural for him to hate people, and first of all, everyone around him established him to be evil. Angraminyu. So the man is using Sakura to take revenge on the people. No, to carry out the role people pushed onto him?
アベンジャー、アンリマユの話は分かったわ。けど、どうしてそいつが聖杯の中にいるわけ？いいえ、そもそもそいつはただの人間でしょ。いくら悪魔の名をつけられて悪魔そのものとして扱われたとしても能力は人間と変わらない。あんな町を人飲みするほどの怪物にはならないはずよ。そうね、アンリマユは人間よ。ただの人間を無理やり英霊にしたものが彼だった。だから何の問題も起きなかったはずなのよ、本当は。3度目の戦いでハインツベルンはアンリマユを呼び出した。けど呼び出された英霊はすごく弱かった。半英雄であるそれはまたも序盤で敗れていち早く聖杯に取り込まれた。ハインツベルンのマスターは嘆いたわ。普通の人間と全く変わらないやつのどこが人の世を滅ぼす悪魔なのかと。そう、事実その英霊はただの人間だった。ただこの世を恨んでいただけの人間。ただこの世の悪であれと望まれた人間。
元から何の力もなく周りの人間の思いだけで構成されたありえないはずのもの、それが聖杯に取り込まれた時、全てが逆転してしまった。聖杯は人の望みを叶える願望機でもある。サーバントは敗れた後、方向性のない魔力として聖杯に戻って、そのまま解放の時を待つ。兵霊としての人格もなくなった彼らは万能の力として聖杯にたまるだけなの。けどアンリマユは違った。彼は自分ではなく周りが願って作り上げた英雄。人格などなくともアンリマユである以上、悪であれと望まれる存在だった。
まさか、もしかしてそいつ。
そう、聖杯はあらゆる願いを叶える杯。ただの人間であり、性別も人格も人でさえない。それはもともと人間の願いそのものなのよ。だからアンリマユが聖杯に取り込まれた瞬間、聖杯は一つの願いを受諾してしまったの。本来ありえない存在、身勝手な願望だけで捏造された英霊は、人々の願いを叶える聖杯の中において、ようやく人々が望んだ姿で生まれることになった。マキリの500年、ハインツベルンの1000年なんて子供騙しよ。何しろあっちは2000年以上も前から続いた、神代から願われてきた人間の理想なんだから。それがあの影の本体、英霊としてようやく形を得ようとする者の正体よ。アンリマユはサーバントたちの無色の魂を糧に、自分の霊格であるこの世すべての悪を体現してしまった。ただ悪であれと。60億の人間すべてを呪う、60億の人間すべてを呪える能力を備えたサーバントとして少しずつ育っていったの。
じゃあ何？聖杯の中身はとっくにそいつに占拠されてて。いえ、聖杯が叶える望みはとうに決まってしまっていて、4度目の戦いはそいつの願い、アンリマユを形にするための養分補充に過ぎなかったってこと？
ええ、キリツグがアンリマユというサーバントをどこまで理解していたかはわからないけど、キリツグは聖杯の外に出ようとしていた黒い影を危険視して聖杯を破壊した。それは正しいわ。以前のアンリマユはどうあれ、聖杯によって受肉するアンリマユは本物だもの。この世すべての悪として命ある限り人間を殺し尽くす魔王になる。けどそのアンリマユはキリツグの英断で出産には至らず、大聖杯の中に残された。その一部を受けた者が琴峰であり、さくらだった。造剣は聖杯の中にいる者が受肉しかけたサーバントだと気づいていたんでしょうね。だからその肉片をさくらに植え付け、聖杯の中にいるサーバントとリンクさせた。聖杯の中にいるサーバントが外に出てきた時、それを従えられるようさくらをマスターにしたのよ。アンリマユが何であれサーバントであることに変わりはない。どんなに強力な存在でもサーバントはマスターには逆らえない。造剣の目的はそれよ。あいつはさくらを餌にしてアンリマユを釣り上げたいんでしょうね。
Hold on. Does that mean Sakura has a contract with this servant, Avenger?
正気？それでアンリマユのコントロールを握ったところで、さくらは黒い影、アンリマユからの魔力汚染に耐えられない。
Shiro going into like double vision right now is relatable. Oh my god, these two have been talking for quite a
アンリ
while.
マユが聖杯の中にいる状態であそこまで変わったんだから、出てきてしまったらさくらの人格なんて消え去る。そうなったらマスターも何もないじゃない。
それでいいのよ。造剣はさくらの人格なんて考えていないもの。造剣にとって大切なのはアンリマユとつながっているさくらの体よ。あいつはさくらの人格が消え去った後、空っぽになった体を乗っ取る気なの。リンは知らないだろうけど、 造剣は自分の魂の入れ物である虫があれば、どんな人間の体だろうと自分のものにできる。いいえ、あいつはそうやって今まで生きながらえてきた。造剣にとってさくらは初めからいつか乗り換える肉体だったっていうこと。
Then what? The thing possessing Sakura. If what's changing her is a contract with a servant.
造剣が私をさらったのはさくらには門を開かせる気がなかったからでしょうね。
Hello, Swift Shot. Welcome, welcome. Just makes you wish the Heaven's Feel films were a series. To an extent, a lot of context was removed. Felt it glossed over many aspects that when you first watched it felt confused until you saw videos explaining it. I've only seen the first one, but I have heard similar complaints about the movies. The thing is, this scene right here, a good chunk of it could easily be removed because they go over it all again in Fate Hollow Ataraxia. Hollow Ataraxia anime, when? Please, oh my... And like, Hollow Ataraxia is a better place to go over it, particularly like Angermine Yu's backstory. Because, you know, he's actually a character in that. He's one of the main characters of that.
聖杯としての役割は私にやらせて、自分はアンリマユのマスターになったさくらの体を乗っ取る。そうしてゆくゆくは第三魔法の成功例、魂が物質化したアンリマユに乗り換えるつもりなんでしょう。完全な神を人間が自らの欲望で不完全な神に貶めるように。
心臓の定義、それは人の望みによって作られながら人の意志に影響されず生まれるものか。まあ確かに造剣なんかの人格を反映されちゃどんな神様も悪魔になるだろうけど、キレイが造剣を敵視してたのもそのあたりか。話は分かったわ。それだけ聞けば十分よね、シロ。
Tosuka's voice brings me back to the present.
じゃないわよ。相手の正体が分かって造剣の目的も分かったじゃない。ならあとは話し合うまでもないでしょう。
We don't even need to talk about the rest, huh? She's right. What's in the Holy Grail? The disaster from 10 years ago will be repeated if he comes out. No, that's an understatement. He'll kill countless people if we let him be. Yes, Sakura's creation will take many lives. I can't allow that. Then I have to stop it. I have to make whatever sacrifices I can to keep Sakura from being burdened with more deaths. Stop, Angermine Yu. I have to end the war before he emerges from the Holy Grail.
納得いったようね。私たちは戦って勝つしかない。で、その方法は2つだけ。アンリマユとやらが出てくる前にマスターであるサクラを殺すか、アンリマユが出てくる前に大聖杯とやらを破壊するか。まあ確実なのは前者だけど、大聖杯を壊そうとすれば必ずサクラと造剣が立ちはだかる。2人を避けて大聖杯は破壊できないでしょ。となると結局マスターであるサクラを倒すことが一番楽ってことになる。
そうだな。サクラと戦ってアンリマユを引き離す。それが一番の近道だし、方針として分かりやすい。
へえ、サクラを狙うってことに反対はしないんだ、シロ。
今はそれしかないだろう。アンリマユとやらがイリアが言う通りのものなら人間に太刀打ちできるものじゃない。そいつを外に出した時点で俺たちの負けだ。なら一番早くて確実な方法を取るしかない。それよりトサカ、戦いに行くのはいいがサクラの居場所は分かるのか？
それなら問題ないわ。イリアの言うことが正しいなら 大聖杯とやらの場所は一つしかない。
ええ、その通りよ、リー。アンリマユの誕生を間近に控えた今、造剣は大聖杯に戻っている。落ちた霊脈。200年前、三家によって選ばれた始まりの土地。竜道寺の地下に広がる大空洞に、アンリマユは受胎している。
竜道寺の地下。
That's where Sakura is. That's where we'll be heading. The place where the Holy Grail War will end. I take a deep breath and allow my tense mind to relax slightly. The cold pendant in my hand settles my thoughts. Fighting Sakura. Tosuka isn't lying. It's just that our methods are different. Tosuka must intend to finish the war by killing Sakura, but I'll end the war by saving Sakura's life. My body trembles. The house is beset by pressure, making the air feel like water. And...
Sakura.
The instant we realize the pressure's coming from the shadow, we run out into the yard. We go out into the yard. The whole world is covered by the shadow. My entire body is numb with fear. The black shadow is standing in front of us. It can crush this house if it wants to. The difference in our power is obvious. It is transfigured to an existence that's unlike anything I've ever seen. The black shadow does nothing. It's not Sakura, but a shadow shaped like her. The real Sakura is under the Ryudo Temple. The thing in front of us is a virtual image.
本人じゃなく影を飛ばしてくるなんて、ちょっと見ない間に偉くなったものね、さくら。
Does she not hear Tosuka's provocation? Or does she not hear anything at all? Wavering in the moonlight, her shadow looks lonely. Her eyes look at me. Senpai. Weak, as if she'll reply like always if I just reach out. But I don't. What I must do is determined. I can't say anything to her, as doing so would weaken my resolve. She looks away. After hanging her head for a moment,
イリアスフィールから話は聞きましたか、姉さん。
she confronts Tosuka with a cold voice.
聞いたわ。あんたに取り付いているものの正体も、聖杯から生まれようとしているものの能力もね。それでさくら、一応聞いておくけど、アンリマユとやらから手を切るつもりはある？
Tosuka's voice is the same. Completely cold, showing no concern for Sakura.
ありません。弱い私はもう消えたと言ったでしょ。せっかく手に入れた力だもの。私はあれから離れる気はないし、あとさくらはもうこうして生きるしかないんだから。
そう。それじゃあもう一つ。そのあんたが自慢してるサーバントはどのくらい出来上がってるの？イリアはもうすぐだって言ってるけど、母親としてどうなのよ、その辺。もしかしてもう外に出てきちゃったとか？
そんなわけないでしょ。あれが出てきてしまったら、こんな町なんて瞬く間に飲まれてしまう。そんなこと許すわけにはいかない。だから、私が残っている限り、あの子は外に渡しません。
へえ、なんだ、なら急ぐことはないわけね。シローが私といる限り、あんたはアンリマユを押さえつけてくれるってわけ。よかったわね、シロー。さくら、この分ならまだまだ元気そうよ。
ふざけないでください。私があとどのくらい持つか、姉さんは分かっているんでしょう。
なら今すぐ先輩を連れて逃げてください。私はそう長くはありません。このままだといつ自分が消えてしまうかわからない。だからその前にこうして忠告をしているんです。姉さん、先輩を連れて遠いところに逃げてください。そうしてくれたら私は安心してあの子と差し違えることができますから。
Sakura says she's going to kill him using her life. Tosuka trembles a bit. Is that because she believes her, or...
いつ自分が消えてしまうかわからないか。それいつ我慢できなくなるかわからないの間違いでしょ、さくら。姉さん、まあいいわ。どうやってアンリ前と差し違える気か知らないけど、私がシロを連れて逃げれば心置きなく自滅できるってことね。聖杯の中にいるサーバントもその力を受け継いだあんたも一緒になって死んでくれるんだ。そうです。だから逃げてください。私は変わりきる姿を見られたくない。先輩さえ離れてくれればそれでいいんです。だからもう私を追ってこないでください、先輩。
She's desperately begging us. Sakura's shadow can kill us right now, but it asks for salvation by letting us go. But I can't answer her wish. I can't leave Sakura and run away, nor can I let her kill herself along with Angra Mainyu. And...
行くわ。行って確実にあんたを殺す。
Tosuka breaks away from her sister.
当然でしょう。遠坂の魔術師として今のあんたは放っておけない。それに自滅するなんて発言も信用できないわ。気づいているの、さくら。あなたさっきから言動がめちゃくちゃよ。私を殺したいくせに逃げろだなんてね。ほんとシローの前だからっていいこぶってま。ですって。あら、いい顔するじゃない。初めからそうしていればよかったのよ、あんたは。で、話はそれだけ？ならさっさと消えなさい。慌てなくてもすぐに会いに行ってあげるから。いい？さくら、あなたは他の誰でもない。
Tosuka declares with a voice that even contains kindness. The shadow wavers. After freezing on the spot like a statue,
ええ、お待ちしています、姉さん。
it smiles violently and disappears. The shadow covering the house recedes. Tosuka and I are the only ones remaining in the yard. I get dizzy. I thought I was concentrating, but it seems I was agitated after seeing Sakura's image. It seems Sakura's not the only one that's running out of time.
シロ、さくらはああ言っていたけど、あなたはどうするの？このまま町から離れるっていうのなら止めないわ。まあ、その時は宝石剣を複製してから言ってもらうけど。
そんなこと確認しなくてもいい。戦いはやめないし、宝石の剣もなんとか投影する。俺たちは協力関係だろ。なら最後まで遠坂にできないことをフォローする。
そうならいいけど、分かってるの、シロ。私と行くってことはさくらを殺すっていうことよ。宝石剣だってそう。あなたはさくらを殺す武器を私のために用意しなくちゃいけないのよ。
そうだな。宝石の剣に関しては確かに矛盾してるけど、 今のさくらは俺たちの手に負えないし、剣を作るのは以前からの約束だ。宝石の剣を投影することでさくらの影に対抗できるなら、それは絶対に必要なものだ。
それじゃあやっぱり。
ああ、遠坂の逆だよ。俺はさくらを助けることで戦いを終わらせる。俺はさくらにとっての正義の味方になるって決めたからな。
さくらを生かすってことは、さくら以外の人間をみんな殺すっていうことなのに。
まだそうと決まったわけじゃないだろう。さくらを助けてこれ以上犠牲が出ない方法があるはずだ。
どうだかね。さくらはもう何人も殺してる。それでもそんな人間を助けることがあんたの正義なわけ？シロ。
Her inquiry is decisive. A sin I can't talk myself out of. She puts it into words, and I finally...
そうだ。たとえさくらが人でなくなったとしても守る。そうなって自分を殺したがっているさくらもひっくるめて全部からさくらを守るんだ。俺がやりたいことはそれだけだ。誰かの味方をするってそういうことだろう。
I'm able to tell her what I think.
はあ、臆面もなく言い切ったわね、あなた。
I nod back, feeling no shame.
そう。まあ何言っても無駄だとは思ってたけど、まさかこれほどとはね。正直負けたわ。
あれ、どこ行くんだよ、遠坂。
どこって、戦いの準備をしなくちゃいけないでしょ。さくらがあんな忠告するってことは本当に余裕がないってことだもの。急いで準備しないとね。
それはそうだけど、話はまだ。
話なんて終わったわよ。要するにシローは自分が生きている限りさくらを助けるって言うんでしょ。いいわよ、好きにしなさいよ。もう口出ししないわよ。こうなったら納得いくまであがいてみなさいってのよ。
Where did her nervousness go? Tosca looks angry now.
けど勘違いしないで。これは宝石剣を作ってもらう交換条件よ。シローが頑張っている限りさくらをどうするかはあなたに任せる。私の出番はあなたが動けなくなってからにしてあげるわ。それなら文句ないでしょ。シローの頑張り次第でさくらは助かるかもしれないんだから。
Tosca leaves with that. The uneasiness in my chest goes away. We're thinking oppositely. But Tosca still wants to save Sakura. Then I can entrust her with Sakura. We both like her. Then Tosca should be able to save Sakura. It's 10 o'clock. Tosca said we'll prepare for battle and go to the Ryudo Temple before the date changes.
さて、今から宝石剣を投影してもらうけど、体の調子はどう？アーチャーの腕を押さえながら投影できる？
I see. Ilya hasn't told her how I took the shroud off.
まあそれはなんとか。
お、頼もしいわね。じゃああとはシローとイリア次第。できるだけ宝石剣に似せたアゾット剣とシローの投影とイリアのサポート。うまくいけばオリジナルの複製とはいかないけど、半分ぐらいは能力の再現ができるはずよ。
Tosca hands me a dagger. The dagger is a ritualistic equipment. It might be something she favors, as it looks well used. Not only that, even an amateur like me can feel how much magical energy is stored in this thing. Well, this is nothing compared to the shadow, but it's still 100 times more than my magical energy capacity.
すごいなこれ。遠坂、こんな秘密兵器隠し持ってたのか。
すごいのは当たり前。 何しろ残った宝石を全部つぎ込んだ私の10年分の魔力なんだから。
Tosuka sulks like she didn't want to use them. She seems generous, but maybe she's really stingy when it comes to money. Well, with that aside...
けどいいのか遠坂。宝石を全部使ったら遠坂自身の予備はなくなるんだろう。お前だってまだ本調子じゃないのにそんなんで戦えるのか。
そうね、飛んだり跳ねたりぐらいはなんとか。けど魔術を使えるほど魔力は回復してないわ。
お前それじゃ。
心配無用よ。あなたがちゃんと宝石剣を投影してくれれば問題ないわ。その剣は突き落としさえ止めたっていう領域外の力なんだから。
I don't get what she means, but Tosuka has great confidence. Well, if she's so sure of herself, I won't worry either.
シロ、そろそろ始めましょう。いくらシロでもその剣の投影には時間がかかるわ。すぐに始めないと日付が変わる。
そうね、それじゃあ部屋に戻りましょう。落ち着いた場所じゃないと成功率が落ちるでしょ。
Tosuka heads back to the living room.
あ、ちょっと待った。投影は土蔵でやる。それと投影中はイリアと二人きりになりたいんで遠坂は部屋で待っててくれ。
なんで？何かあった時大変だし、私もフォローに回った方がいいでしょ。
その必要はないわ。逆にリンがいると邪魔なのよ。シロは注意力が散漫だから。ここ一番でリンが転んだりしたら気が散って失敗するでしょ。
失礼なこと言うわね、イリア。
I mean, she's got a point, though. Tosuka complains with a sour look. She's not arguing back, maybe because she can't deny the possibility that she'll screw up at a crucial moment.
わかったわ。私は蔵の外で待機してる。それでいいんでしょ、イリア。
仕方ないか。それが精一杯の譲歩ね。リン、宝石剣を複製したいのなら私がいいって言うまで入ってこないで。事故が起きそうになったら声をかけるから。それまで何があっても外にいるのよ。
しつこいわね。分かったって言ったでしょ。たとえシロの悲鳴が上がっても中には入らないわよ。
It doesn't really matter, but I wish she'd picked a better example.
じゃあ行きましょう、シロ。
Ilya goes into the shed. I decide to ask Tosuka something before I follow.
遠坂、この剣もらっていいかな。
もらうも何も、それを使って今から投影するんじゃない。宝石剣ができたらアゾット剣はなくなるわよ。
そうだな。宝石の剣は遠坂のものだから、その代わりにこっちを譲ってくれないか。ほら、失敗したらこの剣も壊れるかもしれないし、その時遠坂に怒られるかと思うと集中できない。
はあ、まあいいけど、それでシローがリラックスできるならアゾット剣をあげるわ。
サンキュー。じゃあちょっくら気合い入れてくる。
I shut the door. I can't let Tosuka see this. I'm sure she won't stop me now, but she'll definitely feel responsible. If I'm to smooth this out, I have to tell her I used it after everything is over and get retroactive approval.
準備はいい、シロ。ハーチャーの腕を解放したあなたならもう手順を説明することはないわよね。
I nod. Ilya tells me to sit down, and I do so. Alright, before we get into this, I am going to be right back again. Everybody, take a moment to stretch, grab snacks, whatever. And I'll be back in a few minutes to finish up day 15. Alright, I am back. Let's get back into this.
けどイリア、俺は自分で見たものかアーチャーが作ったことのある武器しか投影できない。宝石剣とやらの情報は皆無だ。いくら宝石剣に真似た探検と元になる設計図があっても宝石剣は複製できないぞ。
分かってるわ。シローにはまず私の中に入ってもらう。私だって見たことはないけど、私の中には宝石剣の記録があるわ。大聖杯を作り上げた時、東坂の大師傅も立ち会った。かの魔導王が手にする剣もちゃんと見ていたはずだもの。
イリア、
いいから目を閉じて。シローの体はそのままで、意識だけを別の場所に移すわ。前もやったでしょ。シローの目を私の中に移すから、そこで宝石剣を解析して。シローが中に入ったら、私が左腕の拘束を外す。200年前の記録へ遡る圧力と左腕の侵食が同時に来るわ。気をしっかり持って、できるだけ早く投影を終わらせなさい。
Ilya's voice is trembling. Her arms are as well.
宝石剣までは私が連れて行くから、シローは息を止めているだけでいい。雑念は捨てて、余計なものは見ないで。シローは私の中からかのゼルレッジを抜き取ってくるだけでいい。
Space splits. Is it because all my senses are within her memory? Or is it because my left arm is released? There's no pain. The cognition of pain doesn't matter now. I'm swallowed by my injury. I'm falling into a swirling maelstrom of pain. I don't know where I am. I don't know who I am. I don't know what it means. It's a large circuit. multi-layered crests are carved on a bare rock that's over 50 meters in radius. It's like a large observatory, rotating by itself in the deserts of Arizona. The circuits cover the area in many layers. The geometric figures turn in place. A white girl stands in the center of the beautiful spider's nest. Her name is Justiz. Justiz Lisrich von Einsburn. She's the magus that devised the Holy Grail War. The great magus who was called the Winter Saint, a magus accompanied by Makiri Zoken and Tosaka Nagato. The Great Holy Grail is activated. Justiz becomes the key reenacting the ancient sorcery. Yes, the Holy Grail is just a Holy Grail without her. Her will is needed for Heaven's Feel. The old man knows as well as Makiri and Tosaka do that the Holy Grail is a mere wish-bringer. My vision narrows. The world expands. I concentrated on something needless. I did, so my body was ripped in half. The world is too big for this small body. I'll eventually see nothing. The process behind this 200-year-old ritual doesn't matter. There's only one thing I need to look at. I concentrate on the man standing in front of the Great Holy Grail. I concentrate on the dagger in his hand. That's the original. A ritual dagger with a jeweled blade. The kaleidoscopic gleam sears through my eyes and into my brain. I understand the instant I see it. I understand that I can't comprehend it. All I can imitate is its shape. I can't analyze its structure and project it. What kind of a magical theory was it constructed with? The old man's dagger is still a mystery, even if I use Archer's arm and every last piece of knowledge in heroic spirit Emiya. It's alien technology. The old man is embodying general knowledge from a far future, beyond the reach of modern man. I'm repelled. I can't be repelled. I can't reach it. Not reaching it is unforgivable. I reach out. I reach out. I reach out. My eyes are burned out. My brains are burned out. I extend my left arm for dozens of meters. Extend, extend, extend.
そこまでよ。戻りなさい、シロ。
I hear Ilya's voice. But I'm not there yet. I don't even have my fingertips on it. I can't back out now. How can I back out after seeing that miracle? The ultimate one.
諦めなさい。このまま消え去りたいの、シロ。
Get there. Get there. Get there. Get there. Did I jump myself, or was I pushed back by something? I'm flying, and I land on my back. My left arm, pain. My tongue, my fingers, the trembling won't. A big knife stabs me from the side. It's so uncomfortable that I repel the one wielding it. And I realize I just punched Ilya. She pats dust off herself and gets up. Good, she's not hurt.
バカ。余計なものは見るなって言ったじゃない。まったく まくいったから許してあげるけど、今度私の言うこと聞かなかったら承知しないんだからね。
She points at my face as she scolds me. Wait. Feeling something hard in my left hand, I look down. I managed to project it. It's projected, but it doesn't seem like the one I saw. First of all, I don't feel any magical energy in this thing. Tosaka's Azoth sword is many times better than this, and this blade wouldn't cut paper.
そう、小言はいっぱいあるけど、とりあえずお疲れ様シロ。投影だけなら完璧。火の打ちどころのない牽制を見せてもらったわ。
実感が湧かないんだけど、どうなんだよこれ。なんかヘボっちいんだけど。
それはそれでいいのよ。その剣はシュバインオーグの系譜のものにしか扱えないとびっきりの魔剣なんだから。まあ考えてみると因果よね。さくらは第三の加護を受けて、リンは若輩の身でありながら第二を駆使しようって言うんだから。教会の連中がいたら調査どころの話じゃない。各部門挙げての裁判沙汰になりかねないわ。
Ilya laughs.
この探検そんなにすごいものなのか。
ええ、正しく言うのなら多重次元屈折現象、宝石剣キシュア・ゼルレッチ・シュバインオーグ。宝石剣ゼルレッチと呼ばれる魔導王の愛犬にして遠坂に残された家宝ってところ。と言っても遠坂に継承されたのは設計図だけで宝石剣そのものじゃないわ。それはね、遠坂の魔術師がもっと長い時間をかけてたどり着かなくちゃいけない。
魔法使いからの宿題って、遠坂の言ってた大衆って魔法使いなのか。
そうよ。けどゼルレッチは魔法使いの中でも頻繁に属性に関わる変人だから、弟子は他にもいるでしょうね。ゼルレッチ本人はこの世界にはいないようだけど、リンが自分の手で宝石剣を作れるようになったらひょっこりやってくるかもしれない。
He's not in this world, but might appear all of a sudden? Isn't he just a wanderer that likes to travel? I mean, kinda. Whoa! I let my guard down. I get dizzy. I clench my right fist, feel the pendant digging into my torn flesh, and keep my consciousness. I steady my breathing so Ilya doesn't notice. My limbs. I still feel my limbs. Good. I thought I'd lose something if I used projection, but I'm not missing anything yet. My head's still working. The biggest proof is that I can check on my condition. I should be able to use one more projection. No, I have to use it. I have to save Sakura in a way different from Tosaka. Archer's arm will make it possible.
なってわけ。要するにね、大主婦の魔法栄光世界。
遠坂。
ん？
I can't understand her. It's not that I can't hear her. She's just speaking in a language I don't understand. She's talking in some strange language and holding something dangerous in her left hand. Tosaka's holding a sword I've never seen before. Never seen before? That can't be. I projected, I think, that sword just now, and my left hand is empty, so it must mean I handed it to Tosaka.
シロ？さっきからさすがにの投影は。
I get a chill. My memory's vague. I can't recall anything. My understanding and the details don't match up. I clench my right hand. My eyes finally focus in exchange for dripping blood.
遠坂
I get up. My limbs are light compared to my disconnected head. They're so light that I think they may be empty inside.
遠坂じゃないわよ。私とイリアは試し撃ちをしてくるから、シローは少しでも体を休めて。ってどうしたのよその手。
Tosaka grabs me. Her speed is surprisingly slow, but
なんでシローがこれ持ってるの？
my mind isn't working, and she has a hold of my hand before I know it. Tosaka's looking at the pendant in my palm with astonishment. I don't know why she's surprised, but I have this because...
シロー、どうしてあなたがこれを持っているの？それに、こんなになるまで握りしめてるなんて正気？
どうしてってお守り代わりに持ってるだけだ。これは確か
something I picked up. Why did I pick it up? It's something I shouldn't forget, but I can't remember. But the stranger in my left arm knows what it is better than I do.
その大切なものなんだ。それは肌身離さず。
Oops. Words that are not mine come out of my mouth.
シロー、そのペンダントなら私も持ってる。
Tosaka takes out a pendant from her pocket. It's certainly the same. It's a simple design for a jewel user like Tosaka, but I think something simple like this brings out her beauty.
そっくりだな。
I nod back.
違うわ。私のは空っぽだけど、シローのは少しだけ残ってる。取るに足りない量だけど、それでも使われたからには意味があるんだわ。それ持っていて、何かの役に立つかもしれないから。
Tosaka puts her pendant away and walks off with Ilya.
おい、遠坂、どこ行くんだよ。
私はイリアに話があるのよ。1時間だけ休憩をあげるから部屋でおとなしくしてなさい。それとその右手、今すぐ手当てしないと本気で怒るわよ。
Tosaka's bad temper borders on outright hostility. She takes Ilya, who follows her without a word.
いいか。助かったといえば助かった。
I have to find out what happened to me before I start moving around. I'm still conscious. I can figure out the situation if I don't let my guard down.
で、どうしてこんなところにいるんだっけ？
I think about why I'm here in the shed. Sakura's warning. Sakura warned us to run, and Tosaka said she'd fight. Then, that's right, we have to go beneath the Ryudo Temple. Alright, I think we're on this scene now, which means there are going to be 2 choices. Or, like, 2 decision moments with 3 choices each coming up soon. Of those 6 possible choices, only 2 of them will progress the story. The remaining 4 will all lead to one single bad end. One of the most iconic bad ends in all of Fate Stay Night. Sparks Liner High. If you want to see that, you know what to do. It's on the screen.
それで、竜道寺に行くのに、どうして土蔵で倒れてるんだよ。
I'm on the ground. I realize that I'm inside the shed. My right hand is hurting. Thanks to that, my consciousness is back.
かりしろバカ野郎。
I get up and check how my limbs are doing. Don't lose spirit. I'm certainly losing something at hopeless speed, but it's not fatal. At the very least, I should be able to fight normally until the day dawns.
ひどい顔色ですね。私が認識できますか、シロ。
I quickly turn around. In the back of the shed, shrouded in darkness just beyond the moon's reach, there stands a servant in black.
ライダー、お前今まで。
はい。ずっとあなたを監視していました。私の使命はエミヤシローの守護ですが、私の主はサクラです。あなたがサクラに危害を加えようとする以上、あなたを守ることはできない。ですから、先の森ではあなたに手を貸さなかった。バーサーカーに追われたのは、あなたたちの自業自得ですから。
Ryder explains lightly. She speaks without emotion. It seems she was waiting for me to be alone.
そうか。じゃあここに現れたのは。
あなたを殺すためですね。あなたたちはサクラの敵です。なら、このままサクラの元になど行かせるわけにはいかない。
Ryder's holding a nail-like dagger. I feel her hostility creeping up my spine. Ryder's serious. Alright. I give her the answer to the previous question. She once asked me, what was it? Remember. It was... Alright. Looks like we will not be doing Sparks Line or High. It was, will I be on Sakura's side until the very end? That's right. She asked me under the starry sky if I'll be on Sakura's side until the very end. The words I couldn't say to her back then. I can tell her now with confidence.
ライダー、あんたがサクラを大切にしているのはわかる。今だって俺を行かせたらサクラが苦しむから止めようとしてるんだろ
う。ええ。それが分かっていてサクラを殺しに行くのですか、シロ。
殺すためじゃない。救うために行くんだ。ライダー、俺は最後までサクラを守る。どんなことになろうとサクラを選ぶ。そのためにあんたの力を貸してくれ。俺と遠坂だけじゃサクラを助けられない。サクラを本当に大切に思ってくれるなら今だけでも手を貸してくれ。
それはいつぞやの質問の回答ということですか。
I nod.
いいでしょう。ですが、私は勝算のない戦いには赴きません。あなたは私に何を期待するのですか、シロ。
What I expect from Ryder? There's only one thing. Ryder's the only one out of all the servants that can oppose Saber's noble phantasm, Sakura's strongest card.
その前に質問がある。あんたのホグは今でも使えるのか。
使えます。サクラは未だ私に魔力を供給していますから。
じゃあ次、サーバントは実体化していてもカテゴリー的には霊体なんだろう。となると通常の武器ではサーバントを傷つけられないのか。
そうですね。通常のサーバントなら無効化できますが、サクラに囚われたサーバントは別です。セイバーは肉を与えられ霊体に戻れない生命です。 強力な魔術品ならば彼らがまとった黒い影を突破できるでしょう。
そうか。なら決まりだ。賞賛はあるし、役割もはっきりしている。ライダー、あんたには1対1でセイバーを倒してもらう。具体的に言うとだな。
I whisper in her ear. I know nobody's listening, but I'm just making sure.
なるほど。確かにその方法なら突破できる。何しろ純粋な力勝負です。紛れが起こる心配もない。
だろ？まあ、問題があるとしたら、それは。
あなたの技量と、あなたの技量を私がどこまで信頼できるか、ですね。
I nod. Ryder puts a finger to her mouth, thinking.
承知しました。あなたを信頼し、一時の主と認めましょう。
And agrees with the smile that takes me by surprise. The clock strikes midnight. It's 12 o'clock, the promised time. I wrap the Azoth sword with cloth and tuck it under my arm. This is my only weapon. The only other thing I'm taking is the pendant.
シロ、リンが呼んでるわ。外で待ってるから、準備ができ次第来なさいって。
Ilya's going to stay here. It's partly because Zoken's after her, but I'm also having her stay here because she's my hope.
そうか。トーサが先に外で待っているのか。
ええ、早く来いって顔してたから、急がないとまた小言よ。
I nod and get up. There's no pain in my left arm now. It's just that my human functionality is eroding. I can't tell what I'm doing if I stand still.
それじゃあ行ってくる。エリアも気をつけてな。
行ってらっしゃいシロ。夜が明ける頃に、さくらとリンと3人で帰ってきてね。
I wave goodbye to her and leave. The house is dead quiet. 10 years. Many things happened here, and I have a lot of memories. This just happened recently. A morning scene that was part of my life for a year and a half. The shed is dead quiet. It's my small workshop that I frequented like my room. Here I trained hard every night, hoping to be like Kiritsugu. She'd wake me up from time to time when I slept in. It feels like it happened long ago, but I even remember how the air smelled. The room is dead quiet. A room that was only used for the past couple days. I don't have many memories here. Only Sakura comes to mind. I sigh and lean against the wall. I can't remember. I can't remember what happened in this house or all the things I did. But still, Sakura's face comes to my mind just by walking to these places.
呆れた。こんなに俺は。
She really means a lot to me. My consciousness is fading, and my memory is a mess. The 10 years in this house are ambiguous in my head. But I can still remember. I can clearly remember Sakura, no matter what part of me goes away. I take a deep breath. What must be done has been determined from the start.
さあ、行こう、さくら。
Taking a firm grip on my consciousness, I leave Sakura's room. There's nothing left. We once made a promise here. We knew it wouldn't come true, but we encouraged each other. I'll do it again now. What was that small hope used for? And that is the end of day 15. Which means I'm gonna start wrapping up here for tonight. So, next week we will be starting and possibly finishing day 16. And day 16 is the finale of Heaven's Feel. So we might be finishing Fate's Day Night next week. After we finish it, whether that's next week or the week after, I am probably going to put a poll up in the community tab of my YouTube channel, to determine what we do next, because I have 3 options in mind for, I've been referring to this to myself as, Fate Fridays, but one of these options isn't actually Fate. So, option 1 is Hollow Ataraxia, Fate Hollow Ataraxia, which is the direct sequel to Fate's Day Night. 1 is Fate Extra, which is a spin-off. And 1 is Tsukihime, which is set in the same general multiverse, but doesn't have a whole lot of connection to Fate. To be one of those 3. I will let the people decide which one we do. But yeah, that is gonna be all for this time. So thank you to everybody who stopped by tonight, and I hope to see you all next time.